Grazie.
Do a selfie to start?
I'm ready.
Oh, very good. Please.
Okay, so Philipp, thank you so much for being here. We have discussed many topics on the evolution of luxury, consumer, the challenges of this market going forward. We would like just to have your experience on that you built this brand platform in 20 years. It's not just one brand, but it's a platform of 3 brands. It's Philipp Plein, Plein Sport, and Billionaire. And it seems that you have clearly in mind one persona in different stages of life, or different personas of the same persona in different usage occasion, and you're serving the different needs of this customer that you know very well. How do you see your platform, brand platform, in the next 5 to 7 years evolving?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not a fortune teller. I cannot see the future. If I would be able to see the future, maybe I wouldn't be here. But no. You know, I think tempora mutantur, et nos mutamur in illis. This is something which I learned at school in the beginning at Latin. Times change and we change with the times. And I think the industry where I'm in, I'm representing the old economy. Fashion is part of the old economy and nothing to do with the new economy. And the fashion business has been for many years, in my opinion, stuck in a moment. It didn't move. There was no movement. There were no changes. The business was always the same. And now we have reached a very interesting point. The industry is changing and is adapting itself to the new reality of our world today. Retail is changing. Omnichannel is everywhere, more and more important. And the distribution is changing. The customers are changing. The way of communication is changing. The way we communicate with our clients, the way we marketing our product is changing. So, and it's 5 years. I cannot predict the future. I cannot really see 5 years in advance. But I can only say that from my perspective, there will be definitely changes. There will be a lot of opportunities because changes means opportunities, and this is very good for especially brands like Philipp Plein. We are famous for taking opportunities and making them become an advantage.
Yeah.
And taking risks as well, of course. Yeah, I can say that the secret of success in fashion, or in the fashion industry, that there is no secret, in my perspective, because everybody is using mainly the same ingredients, the same elements, in order to sell a product successfully in the market. But even though there are some which are more and some which are less successful in this industry.
Customer intimacy is paramount in our industry, as it means the ability of creating strong connection and the engagement of your customers with your brand and product range. You are considered one of the best-in-class examples in doing that. What's your recipe for customer success?
I'm not sure if I should share this recipe here with everybody. Well, I mean, again, it's very difficult. You cannot really say this is one recipe alone. There are many things which come together nowadays if you want to be successful. It's a chain of certain things, and everything has to work together in this chain. I believe that the biggest secret of our success is that we started something out of nothing. We started very fresh. We started on a white sheet of paper. There was no history. There was nothing before. Philipp Plein is a brand which was created a couple of years ago, and today we are a little group, like you said already before, Claudia. And I can say, I mean, it would take too long to explain you all the story, but I think our biggest advantage is that we did everything from the scratch. We started completely new, completely fresh, without even having an experience in what we were doing. So until today, I can say that we are learning by doing. We we had to work for everything, we had to achieve everything what we know today, and this was, I think, the biggest advantage we had.
So you mean sort of humility in approaching all the things with
we are
learning from the consumer?
The reason why we're successful is because we are different. We are born to be different. And when everybody went left, we were most of the time the ones which went right.
Yeah, and you were very different also in innovative marketing model. So you were pioneering with these big parties that not only were parties, but were very inclusive with the city, and disrupting the fashion week, including all the consumer into your brand. And now everybody is doing that. So that's, all the brands are becoming more inclusive. And you've been also very, I would say, innovative in the way you communicated with your clients. So what's next? Can you keep on with innovating on this field?
Well, first of all, let me tell you something. I didn't have any other choice. When I came to Milan the first time, and we wanted to be present during Fashion Week, there is Camera della Moda. They didn't want us to be part of Fashion Week, so they basically didn't give us a slot to show our product during Fashion Week. So, which was, of course, frustrating in the beginning. So I didn't have any other choice than to do an event outside the official, let's say, business hours. So our event took place in the evening. I don't know if you know, but Camera della Moda is the organization which organizes Fashion Week. From the morning till the evening, you have fashion shows. Normally they start, I think, around 9 o'clock, and the last show is around 8 o'clock. So if you're not in the calendar, what can you do? So we were forced, basically, to do an event after 8 o'clock, after the last show. And so this was the first thing. And then the second thing was that I was not really sure if anybody would attend my fashion show. So we were not really famous, nobody knew the brand, and I was pretty much afraid that nobody would show up at our event. So we decided to make it not only a show, also to make a party. So to invite the people to have a good time and to enjoy what we were doing. And this turned out to be basically a big success. It didn't take long, and a few years later, Camera della Moda, a few seasons later, maybe 1 or 2 years later, Camera della Moda called us and asked us if we don't want to be part of their official calendar, because we attracted basically a lot of attention, and at a certain point they couldn't ignore us anymore. So this is basically an example how we developed the business over the years. We always had to find a way, even though it seemed in the beginning sometimes that there is no way, but somehow we made it. And you know, and then it was a pretty much big success. People came, more and more people came. At a certain point, we had thousands of people standing outside trying to get in. It felt a little bit like at a Backstreet Boys concert. There were 2,000–3,000 people trying to attend the show, and it became quite chaotic. But it's now part of the concept. And you're right. What is next? At a certain point, 2 years ago, I decided to stop to do any shows in Milan, and we moved the show completely over to New York. Because we know it was very hard to top our production level. We did huge shows, 2,000–3,000 people attended. It was a spectacle. We had roller coasters, we had jet skis, I think we had monster trucks. We did everything possible. And at a certain point, I said, we cannot go on like this. We cannot go bigger than this. So either we stop or we do something else. So we went to New York, and I think this was a very interesting experience. The last year we were present in New York in Fashion Week. Again, a big challenge for Philipp Plein, because we went into a market which is until now not really covered by our brand, and we started again from the scratch. So you have to like the challenge, and it was a big success, I can say. Without investing really into marketing in the US, the brand today, within 1 year, has gained a lot in terms of brand awareness. We have today, I think, 13 stores all over America, and this was very interesting for me, how successful and how powerful our presentation has been in the US. And last time we were back in Milan, because then we felt that we have to come back. As you said, other brands were starting to copy the concept and trying somehow to take our place. So we said we cannot leave completely Europe. So we came back for 2 seasons, and then we will be back again in America. But as you see, the industry is changing in general. Yeah? In the past, you had a classic fashion week during the men's fashion week, women's fashion week. Today, brands are putting men and women together. They are sometimes even showing outside fashion week. They're not anymore following the calendar. Everybody does what they want to do, and this is also because the way of communication has completely changed. In the past, you needed the fashion show in order to communicate to the audience your newest creations. Today, you can go directly to the consumer. We have social media, we have many other ways and tools to reach out directly to our consumer, which gives us completely different, let's say, possibilities than in the past.
Yeah, that's interesting because you use both the Instagram of the brand and your own Instagram one. As a marketing tool that is very, very effective.
Well, I am the brand, so basically, so...
No, that's clear.
Lately, many fashion brands are taking a social political stand. Maria Grazia Chiuri of Dior stated a few months ago, fashion today should take on the responsibility of being activist. Is there a Philipp Plein activist angle?
No, you know, I'm not an activist. But maybe I'm an activist, but I try to do this in my private life. I think you should not use or abuse a brand to be an activist or to give any kind of political or social statement, because I think this is something, you know, I'm a designer, I sell fashion, I sell clothes, and if I want to be an activist, I become an activist, or I become a politician if I have something more important than this to say, and I think this should stay this way.
Yeah, but in reality, the brand is speaking a language. Now, you say with your brand, life is too short to being significant. So whatever you do with the brand is something positive, bold, rock and roll, and it's giving a positive message and a social message. Are you an optimist? And are you optimist for the future? I'm not an optimist, by the way. But,
no?
No.
Really?
No, by nature not.
No, you are not a millennial any longer.
No.
This is why.
You
are.
No, I think...
optimism and positive thinking are truly millennial values.
Yeah.
I'm an optimist. I mean, you know, I always had to be an optimist. I always had to motivate myself. So I was forced to be an optimist. Otherwise, I think I would have given up, you know, many years ago. You know, I went to law school, and I stopped law school because I started my first business 19 years ago. I started to sell furniture.
Yeah, this chair for...
Exactly. My first product was a dog sofa, a bed for dogs. So I know the company B&B Italia very well because at a certain point I produced furniture and I sold furniture worldwide, and we worked all over the world with important architects, and we were exhibiting in Salone del Mobile, in Paris, and wherever. So my first successful product was a sofa for the dog. And it was so successful that I made my first million out of this product. And believe me, when you're 22, 23 years old and you tell the parents of your girlfriend that you're selling dog beds, you have to be an optimist and you have to believe in yourself. Otherwise, nobody else will.
So, final question?
No, that was the final question.
Oh, okay.
Unless we didn't ask you something relevant.
You can ask me whatever you want. I'm here for you.
Do you have any other question?
No, I am an economist by education, so the business achievements are very important. Your turnover is over 200 million euros, isn't it?
250 million, 2018. And we have a quite good EBITDA, so yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grazie.
Siamo giunti al termine di questa mattinata. La promessa era di fornirvi degli spunti di riflessione e delle chiavi di lettura. Speriamo di esserci riusciti. Abbiamo chiesto a tutti i protagonisti se sono ottimisti o pessimisti. Credo che per gestire le sfide interne del nostro settore, per non essere sopraffatti dalle esternalità di tipo macroeconomico e macro politico, gli imprenditori del nostro settore debbano continuare a integrare e a coniugare il pessimismo della ragione e l'ottimismo della volontà. Grazie a tutti e ci vediamo al prossimo evento Altagamma.
Grazie.